Part 4 to My Fiance Was Unalived in 2011 and all the cricket shit that went down with it. So we left off at I was being questioned by detectives, and they were coming up with all these lies and all this bullshit they were trying to tell me. So they ended up taking me afterwards, taking me to the police station to book me on a traffic ticket warrant I had. When I got there, my kid's father, Josh, was there, and he was down in the hole part. So they put us right next to each other. I was there for not too long, but for a while. I was a wreck. I all of a sudden started realizing that, like, all the COs were acting funny, and they put something up over my window so I couldn't see. And then they're like, "Hey, McGowan, you're getting out." Okay, how am I getting out? Matt Lefferts coming to bond you out, which he was a bondsman. I don't know how that even happened because I never even called him, but thanks. Then I hear the door open because there was a door right at the end by the cell, and I hear a CO say, "Yeah, that guy right there, he's the one that's murdered Michael Mayberry, McGowan's fiance." I'm like, "What?" So I can, like, see just a little bit. I see this little old dude that's like real little guy, looks young as hell, sitting on the bench. I'm like, no way. We don't even know him. Like, what? So they make my kid's father move over a cell, and they put Ryan Harris right next to me in the cell. I'm going off. I'm telling this man that I'm going to murder his whole family. I'm going to, all these terrible things. And then all of a sudden, it just like dawns on me. I'm like rocking right at this point. I am on the ground, on my knees, tears just flowing out my face. And something dawns on me. I'm like, "We don't know you." I'm like, "Hold on." And something just in my soul, my heart, I just knew he did not do it. I said, and now through everything I talked bad to this man, bad, he never said a word. But all of a sudden I was like, "I know you didn't kill my fiance or unalive my fiance." I said, "Did you tell me right now, you tell me the truth. Did you unalive my fiance?" He said, "No." And this little squeaky voice, that's all he said. I knew that was the truth. I just knew that. Next thing, I'm getting out. I get out. I go home. Me and my sister that night, we watch on the news what they said happened. It was on the news. And the picture they showed of my car, there was snow all around. There wasn't snow. Remember I told you it melted. So that was weird. And that was just really weird. Mike's mom's acting funny. I get a hold of her. She's acting so weird about everything, like weird. So I don't even know where to go from. So of course we're trying to make plans for the funeral, right? Now, the next day, I end up walking down to this place where they say they found Mike's car. And this is what they're saying happened. Hold on, I gotta back it up. They're saying that Mike met Ryan Harris in Country Club, which is down the street from me, sat there for 3 hours with him, and ended up robbing him for $25 worth of marijuana. Supposedly Ryan Harris wanted marijuana, and Mike gave him an empty bag, and threw it under the car and told him to get out and get it, and he did. And when he got out, this is what they say, he said, "Don't come for me, because I'll come back and hurt you and your whole family." I just don't believe that. And Ryan Harris supposedly ran in his house, got a boom boom, and is chasing Mike through the neighborhood, supposedly. Now they're on 21. 21's a 2-lane highway, right? Traffic going this way, traffic going this way. Anybody that lives there knows if you keep going, right across the street where Mike was found is a firehouse where there's people 24 hours a day. Supposedly he shot out the back window when he was shooting at the car, and then now he's in the opposite lane with the window down, and those 6 bullet holes, supposedly he did while driving down the highway. Nearly impossible, but whatever. And then Mike was supposedly hit, and he veered off the road right there, and then Ryan Harris supposedly got out of his car, went up there, and shot him point blank. But no one heard anything. No one seen it, heard it. And then somebody jogging at 5 o'clock in the morning seen the car and called 911. But weirdly enough, Rock Valley Townhouse or whatever town, I don't know, a fire department that went to the scene wasn't the fire department across the street. That don't make sense either. And who jogs at 5 o'clock in the morning? And then supposedly later on, my mom told me that she knew something was weird when she seen it on the news because it said that the lady was jogging to church 5 o'clock in the morning. I never heard nothing. It also said that he got taken away in a helicopter. I was in the window all night long. I never heard that. The only thing I heard was boom, boom shots at 8 o'clock at night. There was nothing like that. And not to mention, it wasn't until 9 o'clock the next morning did they start taping off the road. It was 9 o'clock when I was looking out that window and I seen them police out there. 9 o'clock in the morning, but you were called there at 5? That don't make no sense. So, sorry, just give me another thing. The newspaper. It said that he drove a Century. Or no, I had a Century. Either way, a Skylark. It was opposite than what we owned. Said it was a red car. The car was not that kind of a car. It was a totally different car. You think those are important facts that you would release, right? And they're all wrong. And the car is definitely almost shit brown maroon color. I went down to the crime scene, right? And I seen there was a hubcap. There was like things from a car. The headlight part had numbers in it. Well, the hubcap was a foreign Honda car. And I went and ran the numbers on it, and it told me what part it was. It was to a foreign car. There was no Buick parts down there. Found that weird. These are all things that are just like adding up to the weird shit, okay? But the weirdest part was when it came out, the announcement in the newspaper that he passed, they put me as his aunt. At the end of it, which I have all receipts for all this that I'm going to show at the end, it said survived by his 2 aunts' names and Cassandra McGowan. And all of a sudden, they put him as dating his girlfriend from before he went to prison. Ashley. Weird. Definitely lived with me. Oh, and another thing that was weird is that the police said, on the news, it said that they knew who he was because when they got to the scene, they found his ID, which was a lie because I had his ID and it said that they knew that he lived in Imperial because his ID said that, but his ID said clearly that he was from St. Louis, Missouri. So the police won't tell me where my car is because I'm trying to get things out of my car. This is all up until the time of the funeral. I told his mom that I really wanted to see him before he got embalmed. Like, it was so important to me. But I was lied to. They told me to be there at a certain time, and when I got there, him and Ashley were there, or her and Ashley were there, and it was already done. His mom was acting so funny. Like, you couldn't have paid me believe that she would act as weird as she did, okay? Weird. At one point, I didn't even believe Mike was gone. I know that's crazy, but I didn't. Neither did my sister. I was being stalked and watched by people in my woods, like legitly. I was attacked. I called the police. The police wouldn't help me. And that's when I realized that there was something way bigger going on than I even could understand. I was in a conspiracy for real, and I didn't even know how I got there. It was too much to take in, like for part 5.